you could only play who's on your schedule. You got to remember, you can only play who's on your schedule. But I just feel like I got a little bit of fool's gold with this Clemson Tigers team right now. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football, back at it again. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be updated on all things EA College Football, subscribe to this channel right now. I also do plenty of college football content and pro and Madden content as well. Anything related to football, hit that red subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. Again, please hit that red subscribe button. Like the video too. Anything like that really helps out the channel. It doesn't cost you a thing. All it's going to cost you is being up to date on all things EA College Football and plenty of college football content. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Man, here we are. We are chugging along in college football season so far. We're about halfway through. We're coming into, we're just about to end October. Halloween's pretty close here too. But man, we got like 4 or 5 weeks left. There's a lot of big games coming up. However, there's one team I want to pay attention to because they had a very close win over a ranked opponent this last weekend at home. And I think that their current standing, they are the epitome of why we need to expand to a 12-team playoff as soon as possible. I'm not trying to call them frauds. I am just going to say that, man, I would really like to crank up the schedule with this team because I really want to see what they actually are. Let's get into that game real quick. Here we are with the undefeated, now not undefeated anymore, Syracuse Orange visiting the Clemson Tigers, and it was a close one, man. The Syracuse Orange, Garrett Schrader threw a pick inside the Clemson's territory. It was a really, really close game. You can see the fact that they definitely struggled here. However, you check out DJ Uiagalelei, or I still don't know how to pronounce his name, but he had a 16 QBR. That's out of 100. That's not very good. 0 touchdown, 2 picks, and ultimately was subbed out for Cade Klubnik. Cade Klubnik was a top-flight quarterback, but you see how they won. First of all, Clemson is absolutely positively loaded with NFL talent on their defensive side of the ball, and then Will Shipley over here on the offense, running back. 27 carries, 172 yards, 2 touchdowns. They ultimately won the game. Just definitely a super, super strong team here, but DJ Uiagalelei had a struggle of a game. And the ironic thing with him is that, again, he top flight quarterback, 5-star, comes over from Inland Empire, California. You know, he's played pretty well so far in the season. So obviously, like you said, they've blew out Georgia Tech, beat Furman, Louisiana Tech, had 5 tutties against Wake Forest, solid win against NC State, Boston College, Florida State, and then came out against Syracuse, and he really struggled. But you see the fact that, his numbers technically don't look that bad. 70 QBR, 350 rushing, 4 touchdowns, 17 touchdowns, and 4 picks. So he's got, a little bit over a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. And before the game, he had 17-2, which is almost a 9-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. But he really, really struggled against Syracuse, and ultimately Clemson went with Cade Klubnik for the remainder of the game. So after they pulled DJ Uiagalelei, they put in Cade Klubnik, and Cade Klubnik is, this last season, he was the number 1 quarterback in the country, 99.51 composite score from 247, number 1 player from Texas, number 6 in the country. Actually, it's kind of funny if you come down here and check this out. So one of the videos was DJ Uiagalelei has officially silenced Cade Klubnik, Buzz Sayers, Darian Rencher, and that's not true anymore because you see the fact that he got in the game and they ultimately won the game. But you see here, what's the breakdown of Cade Klubnik? Good height with lean, athletic, somewhat narrow build. Mechanics have noticeably improved with reps and experience, and he's a natural at the position. He's a good athlete when he gets loose in the open field. So definitely a good player, a good prospect in the game. Clemson has won with true freshman quarterback before, i.e. Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see what happens the rest of the season because I'm not 100% sure who is going to be the starter and who's not. But if it's Cade Klubnik, man, I mean, they're a talented team enough around him that they don't really have to have him make a lot of plays and they can win a lot of games. And you come over here to 247 Sports, and it says, Cade Klubnik opens up about DJ Uiagalelei, Clemson football situation after beating Syracuse, and this was 14 hours ago for you guys. This is a little over a day and a half ago. Clemson freshman quarterback Cade Klubnik was ready to go when his number called Saturday during Saturday's comeback win over Syracuse and made the most of his opportunity amid struggles of DJ Uiagalelei. Klubnik led 3 second-half scoring drives to help the Tigers stay unbeaten and win the 38th straight game at home, a new ACC record. He entered the game midway through the third quarter with the Tigers trailing 21-10 following Uiagalelei's third turnover. We have so much trust in DJ, and we've been saying he's our guy. DJ is going to lead us. We're right behind him. That whole QB room is also tight. Just the love that we have in there. There's not really one guy that stands out. Obviously, DJ is the guy, but like we're just also airtight, and we have so much fun in trusting each other. When I finally got in there, I was kind of ready. Now, it said that he had led those scoring drives. However, you check it out, he was 2 for 4 for 19 yards. He had 6 carries, 15 yards. And again, I don't know if he was doing a great job checking the ball down or this or that, but it looks like they definitely emphasized Will Shipley when he got in the game, and they ultimately came back and won the game 17 points in the fourth quarter to down the previously undefeated Syracuse Orange. And this is where my conundrum comes into play. Right now, they are doing very, very well as a team. And again, Clemson is... Man, Clemson reminds me of USC back in the day when Pete Carroll was there, because USC was just dominant over the rest of the Pac-12, and it almost just seemed like they just sucked all the oxygen out of the room. Clemson is the same situation here, and again, I was worried about them losing Brent Venables to Oklahoma because they hadn't really been a good defensive team since before he had got there. Now remember, the team, they still have those recruits, Brian Baresi, all those studs on the back end of their defense too, so they're still really, really good, and my dear friend Brandon Venables isn't having a great season out there with Oklahoma himself. But if you look at this team, I'm definitely, you can only play who's on your schedule. You got to remember, you can only play who's on your schedule. But I just feel like I got a little bit of fool's gold with this Clemson Tigers team right now. And again, they've played their schedule. They've done the best that they can. But man, if you look at their schedule, I don't really see where the stress comes from as compared to a Big Ten and SEC, even a Pac-12 and even a Big 12 team. I mean, the Pac-12 right now is pretty loaded at the top. The Big 12 is pretty competitive too. I just don't see it in the ACC right now. Now, to be fair, the only team and one team right now, one coach that I think should be hired by a big-time program, I'm talking to you, Nebraska. They had a really close game at Wake Forest. He had 5 touchdowns in that game. And again, Wake Forest's offense was great. Clemson's offense is great. They were just going up and down the field, things like that. But Georgia Tech just fired their head coach, Furman, La Tech. Wake Forest, good win. NC State, Boston College, Florida State, and then Syracuse. So you see the fact, I like NC State. They've since fallen off this year. They're not bad, but they've since fallen off from here. Syracuse just lost. They still play at Notre Dame, so that'll be tough just because it's a hard place to play. Louisville, Miami, and then send South Carolina to end the season. So 3 straight home games, 1 more away game, and then, a conference championship game probably against North Carolina, who looks like they're the first place team on that side of the bracket. So, yeah, I just don't necessarily see where the stress is coming from the season. But if we get to 12, things get a little interesting. So I wanted to make sure I brought up the AP Top 25. Now, remember here, it's not just necessarily the top 12 teams that get in. Again, it's not just the top 12 teams that get in. So it's going to be the top 6 highest rated conference champions get an automatic bye or automatic, bid to go into the game, and then the remainder of the teams go down from there. The top 4 highest conference championship teams are going to be the ones that get those first round buys. So this is what it's going to look like here. And again, we're going to come down here and check this out. Cincinnati is going to be in the championship, and UCLA is not. Let's check that out. So if we had gotten to a 12-team playoff, and again, I want to concentrate on Clemson here, but this is how the seeding would go. Georgia, SEC champ, and again, this is just a projection for right now. Ohio State, Big 10 champ, Clemson, ACC champ, TCU, Big 12 champ, and then we have down here, we have Oregon would be the Pac-12 champ. They would be seeded where they would be seeded, and then Cincinnati would be the AAC champ, and then the rest of these teams would kind of fill in from here. So if you come down here and check this out, that means first round, Tennessee, wouldn't be UCLA. That would be our dear friends. That would be Cincy. Tennessee, Cincy, Michigan, Wake Forest, Alabama, USC, Oregon, Oklahoma State. And then Clemson would get a first round bye because they, again, like I said, they are the 3rd highest rated conference championship team. However, if you look what they draw, I just don't see them. First of all, I just don't see them winning a game here. Michigan versus Wake Forest, I assume it would be Michigan. I wouldn't see them playing Michigan and winning that game. Also, they would also draw on the other side, Ohio State, Alabama, and USC. I would pick all 3 of those teams over Clemson. USC might get interesting because I don't know how good their defense is. But, man, you look at that, and then whoever wins this other group over here, Clemson definitely wouldn't win that game here. So it'd be weird because they would be the number 3 seeded team in the 12-team college football playoff. But I'm not sure they would win a single game. Now, again, we'll see what Cade Klubnik is. We'll see if DG Oyugale is actually better than I'm giving him credit for. Because, remember, it's only a 4-team playoff this next time in this year in the playoffs. So, but, man, we get to 12. I think that this Clemson team would... I don't want to say they get their comeuppance because that sounds a little revengeful, but I definitely think that they haven't been exposed, but I don't believe necessarily this year in the ACC conference, which is why a 12-team playoff would kind of expose them. Not too much. Again, they're still a talented team here, but I would like to see a 12-team playoff because I think that they would probably lose out pretty quick. Like I said, Michigan, Alabama, USC, Ohio State. They already played and beat Wake Forest, but remember Wake Forest is an 11 seed who would have to play Michigan. I don't see them winning any of those. They would beat four. Was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? They would lose 4 out of those 5 opponents if they had to play them. Gosh, this video feels a little bit like haterade right now. I kind of feel bad, but hey, man, I'm just trying to be honest, okay? If you don't like it, get in the comments right now. Let me know what you think. And again, what do you guys think of Clemson? Are you guys looking for the 12-team playoff as much as I am? Get in the comments right now and let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate it. That's it for me for today, guys. I am out.